Ea Sports and the PGA Tour, so proud to bring you continuing coverage of the world of golf. Rich Lerner up in the tower, pleased to be joined as always by Frank Novelo. And Frank, we cannot talk about the old course without talking about bunkers. 112 of them in all. We know they can derail around, so what's the key to avoiding them?
You just mentioned it, really avoid those bunkers. They're beautifully positioned. If they're downwind, you'd be surprised. The ball can run 60 or 70 yards. So you might be wondering why that bunker's down there, and then all of a sudden you find it. So just keep your eyes open. But yeah, hey, it's a beautiful walk, and that's really the way golf was invented and should be played, especially at St. Andrews.
This one starting a little left off the tee. And we'll have to see going forward how often he leaves the driver in the bag, but a good shot here on the first hole with that 3-wood. Good chance to get one in close from here. This, his second. All right, that's a board, but a lot of green between ball and hole. Iona Stephen is at the first green. This for birdie.
Yeah, I've had a look. Overall, little bit of right to left, but fortunately it's on a very flat part of this green.
And he'll run that one in there. Nicely done, and a no stress par here at the first. Well, here you get a real taste of what the old course will be all about. The double greens, the 411-yard par 4 second. The ideal spot, you want to be just to the right. There's so many famous bunkers here, but this one is well known. It's called Chief's Bunker.
Well, that drive was enormous. I know it's in the rough, but that is long.
Second shot for him now at the second.
Well, there was a good strike in there, just a little left of the hole, but inside 10 feet. And that's about 50-50 chance on the PGA Tour of making a birdie.
It is early, but he kind of needed that one, had to take advantage here, and he did just that. So good work, and he's 1 under through 2. At the third hole now, Frank, it looks relatively easy, but you know there's some danger lurking somewhere out there on the old course.
There is. There's the pot bunkers down the right side. This is a tee where really you want to have an idea where that wind is coming from. If it's into your face, you might want to be a little cautious and go towards the middle of the golf course. But if it's behind you, well, then it's worth challenging that right side.
Nothing to fault there, safely in the fairway. So after a big drive, 77 yards now for his second. Okay, sensible play right there, and that one on deck. Pga down on 3 green to look at this putt for birdie.
And this is working back up the hill, but it doesn't look like it has a whole lot of break to it whatsoever.
Oh, that's a nice roll right there. That's a second straight birdie here in the early part of his round. Gets him to 2 under through his first 3 holes. Frank now at the 4th hole.
Yeah, long par 4. 2 choices, whether he's game enough to drive it down the right or down the left, which is a much wider piece of fairway. That's an absolute bomb off the tee, and more importantly, right in the middle.
Second shot, good look at the green.
Nice approach shot, and the other good thing about that, left it below the hole.
Nope. Disappointment there. He'll brush it in, and that'll be just a par. Hole number 5 of the first par 5 we've seen today. This fairway looks like it narrows quite a bit, Frank. Are you thinking eagle when you step up onto the tee?
Well, you could, especially if you've got a little bit of breeze behind you, but it's quite wide in the driving area with the exception of those 3 bunkers on the right that just sort of pop out. But if you can get it past those, this par 5 is very reachable.
Oh boy, that has started way left. And we'll have to see here. It looked like that ball hopped from the lighter rough into the heavier stuff. Okay, on the green, but that's going to leave a putt that will get your attention. A look here at birdie.
Well, in all things considered, he's in pretty good shape, coming back up the slope, working slightly to the right.
Not quite on line, and that'll drift a couple feet by. that. So nearly a birdie, but par is all he'll have to show for it. Now to the 374-yard par 4/6, another scoring opportunity.
Yeah, just be very careful of the wind conditions here because that'll affect the strategy off the tee, but bunkers left and right to be avoided.
This one starting up that left side.
It might be in the rough, but that was absolutely crushed.
Ball sitting okay here for his second here at the 6th. .21-foot putt set to go. Oh, look at this. Not a very high make percentage on that one. I can guarantee you that. But he gets it to go for his par. Heading now to the 359-yard par 4/7. Accuracy off the tee is critical. Best line is a little left of the flag on the 11th green. Biggest issue here is avoiding the shell bunker short of the putting surface. No issues here. That is into the fairway. So now from the left side of the fairway, this is a second shot.
That's a good shot, and more importantly too, a green in regulation, so birdie chance.
Yes, a good look at that one all the way in. It's a birdie that pushed that score to 3 under for the round. Arriving now at the first of only 2 par 3s at the old course, 166-yard 8th, featuring a high-lip bunker guarding the front of the green that is difficult to hold. And that will miss off to the left and wind up in the short grass. A little short-sided here, left of the green for his second. Yeah, good concentration there. That's a distance where a putt could get away, but that, in for a par. Frank, the old course all about avoiding the pot bunkers. They're so nasty. This is a good example here, the 9th hole.
Yeah, the pot bunkers really to be avoided are the ones in the middle of the fairway, but there are some that sneak in on the left side, plus that gorse on the left. If you can carry that last one, which is called the end hole, then there's a chance to perhaps drive this green.
He just keeps motoring right along. Another good tee shot right there. So not a whole lot left to go here as he'll set up his second to this par 4.
Just a gorgeous shot. This has been a clinic today.
Easy as can be. It's a tap-in birdie here at the 9th. That'll mean this is a 32 on the front, 4 under par. Starting off the backside here at St. Andrews with the 340-yard par 4 10th, named in honor of the great Bobby Jones, 1927 Open champion and 1930 amateur champion. Right center off the tee, ideal here. The fairway narrows around 280 yards, but the green is drivable. This started toward the left side. Yeah, good swing and a good result, as that is safely into the fairway. Not much to this one. It's for birdie. Yeah, the good play continues now to 5 under on the day. Down to the par 3 11th, and Frank, what's the key here?
Well, this green is slightly elevated. Huge false front, sort of left and right of that Strath bunker. And of course that bunker on the hill, or should I say that bunker on the left, is called Hill. It's the famous bunker where Bobby Jones couldn't get out of it many years ago and actually ripped up his scorecard. So a good tee shot here, just find that right level where the flag is.
Boy, this is just way too much club for a front hole location. That was completely overcooked. Now from below the green, a second up to this par 3. Boy, nothing seems to faze this guy. He's been rock solid all round long, and he comes away with a par. Now at the 12th, and Frank, when you put the peg in the ground here, are you licking your chops?
Well, you are, unless you're playing into a head breeze, because if you are playing a head breeze, then you've got to worry about the 4 bunkers that are in the middle of this fairway. Touch of help, or if you're a long hitter, then all you've got to do is worry about that little pot bunker just short of this green. There is gorse left and right, though.
Uh-oh, this is well left.
Well, that drive was enormous. I know it's in the rough, but that is long.
It is in the rough, but it appears to be a pretty good lie. Should have a go at this. His second now at the 12th. And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Okay, can't take putts that length for granted, but that's in for a par. Now to the par 4 13th, and again, Frank, it's all about avoiding the bunkers.
Yeah, another hole that forces you to go either right or left of something that you can see. The 2 bunkers called the coffins right up ahead. You can also go beyond those, and if you do, then you've got a much shorter shot in, but you've got to avoid those fairway bunkers. They are very costly.
This one turning left a bit off the tee. Yeah, that one going to chase down the fairway a little, and it'll wind up perfect. From the fairway, Iona, this his second.
Well, he's looking at 120 yards remaining to the flagstick. Pin, front right. It's a sneaky one.
This one has a chance to be close.
Oh, nothing wrong with that iron shot. It's a good one. Just a little short, little right, but still a very good place to putt from.
A 6-footer now for birdie. Yes, very methodically done, and that one in for a birdie. Frank, the 14th is a big par 5, chance to make a big move, but also possibility of making a big number if you're not careful.
Yeah, you've got to be very aware of the out of bounds on the right side, even though it does move to the right. Ideal tee shot is down the right side that gets very close to that, because then that opens up the second shot and keeps that tee shot away from that crop of bunkers called the birdies. There's a big cross bunker up ahead that has to be avoided for the second shot. If you're long enough, you can reach this par 5 and 2, but this green with so many undulations, that it is anything other than flat.
That was close to being good, but it'll hop off the fairway and into the heavy stuff. Boy, nothing seems to faze this guy. He's been rock solid all round long, and he comes away with a par. Frank, one of the things I always loved about links golf is that you're not aiming at a flagstick or a tree, but sometimes you're aiming for a steeple in the distance, and this is a good example here at the 15th.
Yeah, the church steeple is the exact line off the tee. That gives you sort of the center of the fairway. Really, you don't have to be overly bold off the tee. This is about just finding a nice flat lie for that second shot, because this is another difficult green that's well protected by just one little bunker that's in the front left that you don't think comes into play. But if your second shot doesn't land the right distance, more often than not, it just gets swallowed up by that.
Oh, going to be watching this one intently. A little too much roll on the back end there, and this is going to wind up diving into the heavy stuff. But you got to be careful not to catch the hosel here as he lines up his second. Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one. Just too much juicy grass between the ball and the club face. It's always going to come up short out of that sort of light.
Okay, a little left to do, but safely on the green. Not that time. Pretty good effort, but it'll wander a couple of feet by. Okay, so after a strong front side, things not quite as rosy on the back. That one in for double bogey. Frank, the 16th hole, famous for the principal's nose, and I can't help but think Mrs. Hartman in 4th grade.
Well, I don't know
He didn't like us.
I don't know how Mrs. Hartman would have played this hole, but she would have been wary of the out of bounds on the right. And that's why the general consensus is you not only avoid the principal's nose, but you hit the tee shot a little bit further left. It might lengthen the hole, but it is certainly the more prudent strategy.
And no issues there. Good tee shot in the short grass. The big drive got him here. Now a short one for his second.
That's how quickly fortunes can change. You figure from where that ball was, should have been a great chance for a birdie. Now, I mean, par, maybe even bogey on the table.
Now a 7-footer. Okay, probably was expecting a little more from this hole after the big drive, but he does walk away with a par. Well, this is simply put one of the most unusual and difficult par fours in the entire world of golf. You know it as the road hole. They don't come any more famous than this. Iconic 455 yards par 417. Do you know any other par fours where you have to carry a hotel? Well, this is the one. And then when you get up by the green, there's that little road and that little wall where so much history has unfolded. Oh, he's pulled it. Ooh, and that went straight down. That's going to be tough from there. It's going to take a heroic effort to reach this green in two. It's his second from a dreadful lie. Yep, good work not to let that get away, and that's in for a par. One of the most memorable sights in golf, 357-yard par 4 finishing hole at St. Andrews. This one has witnessed so much drama over the years, and the Swilcan Bridge is perhaps the most famous structure in golf. Gonna work this up that left-hand side. It all looks so simple when you're going good, doesn't it? And that is yet another solid drive. So the great tee shot left him here, now his second from relatively close range.
Nobody's happy after that shot. Oh, I mean, that was one up from disastrous, really.
So this for a finishing birdie at 18.
Tough to see any break in this, maybe slightly to the right, putting back up the hill, so gotta keep up the speed.
Got it there, but not quite on target. Okay, so that will wind up a par at the last. And that is going to be a solid round of 68. So that was a good day on the course, Frank. Anytime you can look down at the card and count up 6 birdies, you know you're doing something right.
Especially on this golf course.
Till next time, for our entire cast and crew, I'm Rich Lerner. This has been a presentation of Ea Sports Pga Tour Golf. So long, everybody.